The idea that when you come into a room and there's 150 of your neighbors in the room, that has a real value to it. You know, if you're not out on the limb on your own, searching on the internet, wondering whether these guys are a fly-by-night operation or whatever, what you have is, you know, a bunch of the people who are also thinking about it. And I think that social reinforcement of the idea is one of the keys to making this thing work.
I mean, the other important thing, what we find in all of our work is, is that people want solutions. You know, we keep hearing about, you know, the degree of the environmental crisis, and it's one bad news story after the other, and a lot of people are looking for solutions, and if you could make that accessible, I think a lot of people are ready.
The interesting thing about money is that people can relate to it very easily, so it's an easy thing to understand. Energy is a very abstract concept. Greenhouse gases are like even more abstract than that for most people, so talking in those type of terms may resonate with certain people, but not the majority, whereas when you talk in money, there's at least some comprehension. So what we're trying to do is break it down to show that our overall utility budget is $25 million a year, but in your department, you are actually spending $15,000 a year, and there's potential to save $1,000. So if your department can do that, imagine the hundreds of departments across UHN.
Some of the contractors came out to our meetings and brought potential clients with them, and they also brought them here to the house, and they were able to first of all, learn from how we had done it. Some of the contractors said that they weren't that confident, for example, in using the spray foam product that we used, and but they could see how it was done here, and they could see that the building inspectors had accepted it, and so I think it just meant that it kind of opened a number of doors. People, were hearing about these kind of sustainable approaches to retrofits, but they weren't as confident about using them, both from the contractor side as well as the homeowner side, and I think our project really accelerated the uptake of that. A lot of people had done renovations to their home, and so if we got a topic going, then we had a lot of neighbor to neighbor sharing of information. We would start it off, but it turned out that they had a lot to say, and they would share it with each other, which was really useful because it's the kind of thing where in our survey we found out people actually trusted information coming from their neighbors in terms of what had been done and how successfully it had been done, and who had done it for them, and that kind of thing.
An engineer can come and talk to you about the technical side of things, but I think in any organization such as a nonprofit like this, you actually need a richer knowledge base to draw on and to present to people. So we had to do a lot of not just energy modeling of the building, but financial modeling of how this thing should work, and we had to have that sort of examined by outside people, because we were applying for funding and so on, and that all of that sort of built a sense of credibility with the level of the retrofit that we were trying to accomplish. So it wasn't just us sort of dreaming here and then paying the big bucks to get someone to implement a dream. It was actually implementing something that had a certain level of acceptance in the bigger world.